A mother and her teenage daughter step into Judge Caprio's courtroom. The car is registered to the mom, but her daughter, Michaela, was behind the wheel when she drove through a red light. It was raining hard that day. Visibility was low. The light flipped from yellow to red faster than she expected. Judge Frank Caprio listens closely, his signature compassion already evident that he reviews every detail. He considers the bad weather, the quick light change, all the circumstances. And he's just moments away from showing mercy, ready to dismiss the ticket entirely. All Michaela needs to do is accept the decision with grace. That's it. Just say thank you, and walk out owing nothing. But in the 1 second between mercy offered and mercy received, this 18-year-old makes a choice so shockingly disrespectful that the entire courtroom freezes in disbelief. She lifts her hand and flashes Judge Caprio the middle finger, right there, in open court, on camera, with her mother standing beside her. What follows is the instant destruction of a dismissal that was only a heartbeat away from being final. Subscribe now, because most viewers haven't yet, and this case is proof that one careless gesture can cost everything. Disrespect has consequences, and they arrive fast. That be why the end of this story, you'll watch an 18-year-old turn complete forgiveness into a full fine. You'll see a mother's horror as her daughter ruins their chance in seconds. And you'll understand exactly where Judge Caprio's mercy ends, and why testing it is never wise. Here's the question: why would someone throw away a gift at the very moment it's being offered? You're about to see it unfold. It's Wednesday morning, 10:45 a.m., at the Providence Municipal Court. The bailiff calls the next case, a vehicle registered to Patricia Dawson, red light violation, driven by Michaela Dawson. A woman in her mid-40s walks to the podium, her teenage daughter beside her. The mother appears professional and respectful. The daughter, maybe 18 or 19, looks casual but appropriate. Both seem nervous, but polite. Judge Caprio greets them warmly. "Good morning, ladies." "Yes, Your Honor," the mother replies. "I'm Patricia Dawson, and this is my daughter, Michaela." "Good morning, Michaela." "Good morning, Your Honor," she answers quietly. Judge Caprio examines the citation. "I see the car is registered to you, Mrs. Dawson, but it says your daughter was driving. Is that correct?" "Yes, Your Honor. Michaela borrowed my car to get to work. She has insurance and permission to drive it." He turns to Michaela. "And you're cited for running a red light at Hope Street and Angel Street. What happened?" Michaela chooses her words carefully. "Your Honor, it was raining really hard. I was driving to work and coming up on the intersection. The light was green when I was still a ways back. Then it turned yellow. I was going the speed limit, 35, and I didn't think I could stop safely in the rain, so I went through." "So you believe the light was yellow when you entered?" "I thought it was, Your Honor. But the officer said it was red. I guess it must have turned red right as I went through. It all happened fast." Judge Caprio pulls up the traffic camera footage. "Let's take a look." The screen shows the rainy intersection. Visibility is clearly poor. Michaela's car approaches. The light turns from yellow to red just as her front bumper crosses into the intersection. Judge Caprio studies it. "I see what you're saying. The light changed very quickly, and the conditions were poor. Was this during rush hour?" "Yes, Your Honor, around 8:30. "And you were going the speed limit?" "Yes, Your Honor. 35. I was being careful because of the rain." Her mother adds softly, "Your Honor, my daughter is a very responsible driver. She's never had a ticket before. She was genuinely trying to be safe." Judge Caprio nods with understanding. The footage does show that the light changed quickly and the weather was difficult. He turns to Michaela. Do you work full-time? Yes, Your Honor. I'm a CNA at a nursing home. I was on my way to my shift. A CNA? That's important work. Hard work. Thank you, Your Honor. I love it. And you were trying to get to work on time, driving cautiously in the rain, and got caught by a fast light change. Yes, Your Honor. Exactly. Judge Caprio scans his notes, and the entire courtroom can feel the direction he's leaning. This is a young woman with a clean record, doing meaningful work, caught in a tough situation with heavy rain and a light that changed too quickly. It's the kind of moment where experience meets compassion that he looks up at both women with that familiar warmth. Mrs. Dawson, Michaela, let me walk you through my thinking. The mother and daughter lean in, hopeful. Michaela, technically, you did go through a red light. The footage shows your car entering the intersection after the signal turned. That's what the citation is for. Michaela's shoulders dip just slightly, but she nods. I understand, Your Honor. However, Judge Caprio continues, context matters. It was pouring. Visibility was low. The light changed unusually fast. You were driving at the speed limit, taking the weather into account, and you've never had a violation. You're also working as a CNA. That tells me you're responsible and contributing to your community. Thank you, Your Honor, Michaela says softly. The fine for a red light violation is usually $175, he adds. For someone starting out, that's not a small amount. Her mother interjects gently, Your Honor, if there is a fine, I'll help her pay it. But it would be difficult for us right now. He nods with understanding. Mrs. Dawson, I appreciate that you're willing to support your daughter. That's good parenting. But I'm not asking either of you to pay anything. Both women look up, stunned. Michaela, he says with genuine warmth, I'm dismissing this citation. The circumstances justify leniency. You were careful, you were honest, and this was a timing issue in bad weather, not reckless behavior. Relief floods Michaela's face. Oh my God, thank you so much, Your Honor. Her mother clutches her chest. Your Honor, that's incredibly kind. Thank you. Judge Caprio smiles, pleased to give a second chance. Michaela, keep driving carefully. Keep doing the important work you're doing. And remember this, second chances are a privilege, not a guarantee. Make sure you honor the one I'm giving you. I will, Your Honor. I promise. Thank you. He picks up his stamp to finalize the dismissal, so we're clear, you're not paying anything. The citation is dismissed. Drive safely. And this is where everything should have ended beautifully. A forgiven teen, a grateful mother, a judge satisfied with showing mercy, but in the tiny sliver of time between his final sentence and the stamp hitting the paper, just as his hand lowers toward the document, Michaela turns to her mother with a grin of excitement. She's thrilled, relieved, overjoyed, and then, in what she must think is some sort of playful celebration, she lifts her hand, and flips off Judge Caprio. A full, unmistakable middle finger, not subtle. Not hidden, right there in open court. On camera. In front of everyone, the reaction is instantaneous. The room gasps. Someone whispers, oh no, her mother's face collapses in shock. Judge Caprio's hand stops mid-air, the stamp suspended inches above the paper. His entire expression shifts, from kindness to stone. The dismissal evaporates instantly. Excuse me, he says, voice suddenly cold. Michaela realizes instantly what she's done. The excitement drains from her face. Your Honor. Judge Caprio cuts in sharply, his voice calm but powerful. Did you just make an obscene gesture at me? Your Honor, no, I wasn't. Her mother grabs her arm, panic rising in her voice. Michaela, what did you do? Judge Caprio's words are quiet, but they hit like thunder. Miss Dawson, I was in the middle of dismissing your ticket. My hand was literally on the stamp. And you chose that moment to give me the middle finger. Your Honor, I wasn't. I didn't mean it toward you. Then who was it directed at, Miss Dawson? You were looking at me when you did it. Michaela scrambles, desperate. Your Honor, I swear, I was just excited. I was being stupid. I didn't mean to disrespect you. You raised your middle finger in my courtroom, Miss Dawson, he says sharply. In what world is that not disrespectful? Her mother is mortified. Your Honor, please, I am so sorry. She made a terrible mistake. She got excited. She wasn't thinking. Judge Caprio raises a hand, stopping her immediately. Mrs. Dawson, I understand you want to protect your daughter. But she is 18. She is an adult. And adults are responsible for their actions. He turns back to Michaela, his gaze firm. Miss Dawson, do you understand what just happened? Michaela's eyes fill with tears. She's shaking now. Your Honor, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean any disrespect. I was just so happy and relieved, and I acted without thinking. It was stupid. You chose to behave disrespectfully in a court of law, he replies. And you did it while I was showing you mercy. I know, Your Honor. I know. I'm so sorry. Judge Caprio leans back, stern and unyielding. Let me explain something to you. When someone in authority is about to do you a favor, when they're prepared to show you compassion you are not owed, the correct response is gratitude. Not celebration. Not gestures. Quiet. Respectful. Gratitude. Yes, Your Honor, you're absolutely right. What you did revealed something important about your character, he continues. It showed me your respect is conditional. When you think things aren't going your way, you're polite. But the moment you think you've won, you choose disrespect. That's not true, Your Honor, your actions say otherwise, Miss Dawson. Judge Caprio sets down the dismissal stamp and picks up a different one. The entire courtroom goes silent. Everyone knows exactly what's coming. Miss Dawson, I was prepared to dismiss your citation. That is no longer happening. Michaela's knees nearly buckle. Her mother steadies her, whispering her name in shock. Your Honor, please, the fine for running a red light is $175, he states firmly. That fine will be paid in full. I understand, Your Honor, Michaela sobs. I'll pay it. I'm so sorry. I'm not finished, Miss Dawson. The room freezes. For showing contempt toward this court, for making an obscene gesture while I was in the act of giving you mercy, I am adding an additional penalty of $300. Her mother gasps. Michaela breaks into harder tears. Your total fine, he says steadily, is $475. Your Honor, please. I can't afford that. You should have considered that before raising your middle finger in my courtroom. Patricia tries again, desperate. Your Honor, I know she made a terrible mistake, but she's young. She's learning. $475 is a lot for someone earning CNA wages. Is there any way? Judge Caprio's response is firm but not unkind. Mrs. Dawson, I respect you. You're clearly a good mother. But your daughter is an adult who made an adult decision to disrespect this court. She needs to face adult consequences. I understand, Your Honor, she whispers that he turns back to Michaela. Miss Dawson, you work as a CNA. You make, what? $12. $14 an hour. 13, Your Honor. Then $475. That $475 represents about 36 hours of work, roughly a full week's pay. Yes, Your Honor, Michaela sobs. Do you understand? Judge Caprio asks, that with one thoughtless gesture, you just cost yourself an entire week's earnings. Yes, Your Honor. I understand, she cries. Do you realize that just 10 seconds ago, you owed nothing? That I was dismissing everything? You were about to walk out free? Yes, Your Honor. I know. I'm so sorry. Your apology doesn't undo what you did, Miss Dawson. It doesn't erase the disrespect. It only shows that you regret facing consequences, not that you truly understand why your action was wrong. I do understand, Your Honor. I really do, she pleads. Then tell me, why did you do it? Through tears, Michaela struggles for words. I don't know, Your Honor. I was so happy, so relieved, and I acted without thinking. It was stupid. It was disrespectful. I wasn't raised to behave that way. I just made a terrible choice in a moment of excitement. Judge Caprio studies her silently. Miss Dawson, do you normally make obscene gestures? No, Your Honor. Never. Then why today, in a courtroom, to a judge? I don't have a good answer, Your Honor. I know it was wrong, and I'm ashamed. His voice remains stern but softens into the tone of someone teaching a painful, necessary lesson. Miss Dawson, listen carefully. This courtroom sees hundreds of people every week, young, old, wealthy, struggling. They come with mistakes, violations, problems. And you know what determines whether they receive mercy or the full weight of the law? Michaela shakes her head, too upset to speak. Attitude. Respect. Humility. People who come in honest, polite, humble, they almost always get compassion. People who come in disrespectful, arrogant, or contemptuous, they face the full consequences. I understand, Your Honor, she whispers. You came in respectful, polite, honest. You showed the character that deserves leniency. And I was giving it freely, without hesitation. And then you threw it all away with one careless gesture, one moment of poor judgment. Now, instead of owing nothing, you owe $475. Her mother speaks softly. Your Honor, I'll help her pay. We'll figure it out. Judge Caprio nods. Mrs. Dawson, you are a good mother, but I hope you let your daughter bear most of this herself. She must learn that actions have consequences. I will, Your Honor. She'll pay it herself. An older woman in the gallery raises her hand. Judge Caprio notices. Yes, ma'am. I'm 73 years old, she says, standing. Watching this young woman throw away mercy breaks my heart. I've made mistakes too. I've learned that moments of grace are precious, you don't take them for granted, and you certainly don't disrespect them. She looks directly at Michaela. Young lady, you just learned a very expensive lesson. Respect costs nothing. Disrespect cost you nearly $500. Several people nod in agreement. Michaela is crying too hard to speak. Judge Caprio adds, Miss Dawson, that woman just gave you wisdom worth more than the fine you're paying. I hope you're listening. I am, Your Honor. I really am. Good. Here's what I want you to remember. Every day you go to work as a CNA, you will care for elderly, sick, vulnerable people. They will depend on you to be respectful, careful, mature. Yes, Your Honor. Those patients deserve better than someone who makes obscene gestures in moments of excitement. They deserve someone who exercises self-control and shows respect, even under pressure. You're right. So let this $500 lesson change you. Let it teach you to think before you act. If you cannot control yourself when good things happen, what will you do when stressed? Angry? Frustrated? Michaela nods fiercely. I understand, Your Honor. This will never happen again. Where are you watching from? Comment your city if you believe one moment of disrespect can destroy everything.